And we are live. Welcome back to Takes by Fans. We got a great show for you today. As always, we are live every single day at noon Eastern. If you want to watch live, head over to twitch.tv/takesbyfans or our website, takesbyfans.com/watch. If you want to watch but not live, head over to our YouTube channel, Takes by Fans. We post all of our shows and clips of the show there on a daily basis. And if you just want to listen, we are on podcasting apps, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio. So however you want to watch or listen, we've got you covered multiple ways. All right, today's a big old Friday, folks. We just had Thursday night football on last night, Patriots at the Falcons, and I think this was the first Thursday night football game that we predicted correctly, so watch out for the rest of our Week 11 picks because we're hitting already, folks. We took the Patriots -6.5. They obviously had no problem covering that, shutting out the Falcons. What was the final score? 25-0. Ooh, Falcons. Ooh, Matt Ryan. Ooh, North Cordero Patterson. Ooh, not good offense there by Arthur Smith, unfortunately. So we'll break down that game from last night. We got all of our 6 picks for Week 11 coming up, our 3 locks and our 3 99% guarantees. And I'll tell you something, folks. Vegas this week, they made it. This is the hardest week to pick games on based on the spread line. Vegas put them exactly where, it's really tough. You get no great value. There is no good value. There's one great value this week, and that's really it. And we'll tell you that when we get to the game. But one great value. Nothing else is really good here. Really kind of small spread lines and all that. So we'll give you our best picks here this week, and we'll see if we can hit. But this is a tough week. Vegas, they know what they're doing this week. So we've got our Week 11 picks. We're doing our NBA Daily 10, breaking down the NBA of last night. We have one more film study I kind of want to fit into. We can go quickly into it, watching the Colts and watching Carson Wentz throwing the ball. We're going to look at all of his incompletions and why the drive stalled for field goal after field goal after field goal. They only had one touchdown, and that drive, we broke it down on Monday's show. It was running the entire drive, basically. So we'll watch Carson Wentz a little bit. And then we should be able to fit in our NFL power rankings as well. Got to get those done before Sunday's slate of games. Our power rankings that we are going to unveil today take yesterday into account none. We do not take last night's game into account with our power rankings that we have, but we can see if we can get there. But let's just start the show here. Let's put 10 minutes on the clock and get our NBA Daily 10 out of the way. So here we go. Next 10 minutes, uninterrupted basketball talk of what just happened last night in the NBA, and the clock starts now. Alrighty, a couple of games in the NBA last night. Let's start here with the Warriors and the Cavs, and oh my goodness, folks, this Cavs team, I'm really liking this Cavs team, and we are going to update our NBA power rankings tomorrow on the show. In last week, we moved the Cavs up to number 10 in our power rankings, and I'm still loving that decision that we made because, yes, this Cavs team lost 104-89 last night, but they had like a 13-point lead going into the fourth quarter, and then Steph Curry just came and went hot like Steph Curry always does. So another huge, great performance by this Cavs team, unfortunately ending in a loss. We just said the same thing yesterday when we were breaking down the Cavs team. But let's start here with the Cavs. Still no Jared Allen, so Ed Davis is still playing the 5 here, and he's still having really good success. 7 points on 3 shots, shot 100%, 14 rebounds, a -4 on the floor, real solid in a double-digit loss here. What do we got? 15-point loss. So once again, Ed Davis really getting it done, and everybody just stepping it up here for this Cavs team. Ricky Rubio, 10 points, 5 assists. Darius Garland, 25 points, 5 assists as well. Dean Wade, 17 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, and Isaac Okoro, 10 points and 7 rebounds. So everybody in the starting lineup truly getting it done without Jared Allen and without Colin Sexton. Obviously, he's out for the year. And then we have Kevin Love again out here. Another good performance by Kevin Love off the bench. 17 points and 7 rebounds. So this Cavs team is still the real deal, folks. As soon as they get Jared Allen back and Ed Davis, if he can have this great production coming off the bench, now we've got a squad. And same thing with Kevin Love really stepping up over the past couple of games here. So yes, the Cavs lost, but they were leading the entire way up until the fourth quarter. So still big credit to this Cavs team. And then the Warriors, Steph Curry does Steph Curry things. 9 of 16 from 3. Another 9-point. He went back-to-back 9 3-point shots made in back-to-back games, folks. What the heck, folks? What the heck? It's so freaking, it's great to watch. It's so entertaining to watch, and it's so absolutely fantastic. The best shooter, the greatest shooter, the most efficient shooter in NBA history, Steph Curry, and he's back, folks. 40 points, 6 assists, 4 rebounds. Jordan Poole, a little bit of an off night by this man. 8 points, 2 assists, 2 rebounds, shot 1 of 5 from 3, but they're still able to get the win. Kevon Looney at the 5, 2 points, 4 rebounds, a minus 15 on the floor. The worst plus minus, the worst minus by a Warriors player on the floor last night. Kevon Looney, nothing great. Draymond Green, 4 points, 14 assists. And then Andrew Wiggins, 12 points, 2 assists. 5 from 3, a little lackluster on what we usually expect from Andrew Wiggins, minus 14 on the floor. Usually he's a pretty solid defender and can give us some points. Got us 12 points. Defending wasn't really there last night. So Warriors get it done. Steph Curry puts the team on his back like he usually does, but he really did it last night. Alrighty, then we get the Wizards at the Heat, and the Heat win here, 112-97. Once again, Jimmy Butler is back here. And, this Wizards team, they're top of the Eastern Conference. I believe they are still top of the Eastern Conference. And with this Heat team at full strength, the Heat are the best team in the Eastern Conference, folks. It is not this Wizards team. So let's start here with the Heat since they got the win. Jimmy Butler, 32 points, 4 steals, 5 assists, 3 rebounds. And once again, he doesn't shoot the threes, folks. That's not his game, and he still gets it done. PJ Tucker, 15 points, 5 rebounds, a +7 on the floor. Fantastic. Bam Adebayo being aggressive, still second leading scorer for this Heat team. 20 points, 9 rebounds, efficient, shooting 56%. Kyle Lowry at the 1, 8 points, 12 assists. Duncan Robinson back in the starting lineup here, 6 points, 3 rebounds. Not efficient, 2 of 9 from the field, and 2 of 8 from 3. He was a +5 on the floor. No Tyler Hero last night, and they still get the win. Gabe Vincent steps up big time off the bench here. 18 points and 3 assists there by Gabe Vincent. So that's enough for the Heat to beat this Wizards team. And now what went wrong with this Wizards team? Kyle Kuzma, we just saw him have a little bit of a flounder performance in their last game. What did he do last night? 19 points, 13 rebounds, 7 assists. Oh, that is very, very good. 4 of 9 from 3, pretty efficient. 58% on 12 shots. We'll give him all that. The -12 on the floor. The defense still not 100% there by Kyle Kuzma, but everything else was a really good game by Kuzma out there. Unfortunately, they just faced the best team in the Eastern Conference, the Heat. Montrezl Harrell in at the 5 here in the starting lineup, 12 points, 9 rebounds. He was a -8 on the floor here. Bradley Beal, 30 points, 6 assists. 6 rebounds, 5 assists, a -9 on the floor. And then Aaron Holiday, only 4 points on 7 shots and 5 assists. Off the bench, they had Corey Kispert, 13 points, 4 rebounds off the bench. Once again, we're still waiting for kind of Raul Neto to do something off the bench here. We get 0 points on 3 shots. Denny Avdija, 6 points on 6 shots. Could definitely be a little bit better out there. But this Wizards team, another loss out here when they were kind of at the top of the Eastern Conference. So Heat knock them off 112-97. Alrighty, next game up here, we get the Clippers at the Grizzlies, and the Clippers lose here 108-120 to the Grizzlies. John Morant, 28 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds. Steven Adams still at the 5, 2 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, doing classic Steven Adams things out here. Desmond Bane, 16 points. Jaren Jackson Jr., 18 points. Dylan Brooks, 18 points. And then Brandon Clark off the bench, 14 points. Now, this is kind of the scoring pace needed for this Grizzlies team. We know they've got some good scores in their starting lineup, and then just having Kyle Anderson coming off the bench, Brandon Clark, DeAnthony Melton. This is a really deep Grizzlies team. A little unfortunate lackluster to the start of the season, but so far, what is this? 2 straight wins for this Grizzlies team, trying to get, let me go to the standings here. trying to get everything kind of back up to speed where they were last year. This Grizzlies team, 2-game winning streak. They're 8-7, trying to get to that top 6 so they're not in the play-in tournament. And obviously, we don't have to worry about the play-in tournament standings as of yet because it's still early in the season. But Grizzlies trying to kind of claw their way out of that lackluster start, and they're starting to turn it around. What's their last 10? 5-5 in their last 10? 2-game winning streak. We'll see if they can keep it up here. And then for the Clippers, an unfortunate loss here. Unfortunate. Paul George has to slide over to the 3. So this was their starting lineup. Reggie Jackson at the 1, Eric Bledsoe at the 2, Amir Coffey at the 3, Paul George at the 4, and Zubac at the 5. So just a little bit of a shorthanded night. No Nicholas Batum for this Clippers team. Paul George, 23 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds, and this Clippers team has been looking real solid, so we can give them a loss here and not kind of overreact and say this Clippers team is trash. This Clippers team is still good, just an unfortunate loss last night. Eric Bledsoe only played 24 minutes and only took 2 shots for 4 points. He had 4 rebounds and 3 assists. And then Reggie Jackson with the 18 points, 5 assists. Clippers come up a little bit short here, losing 120-108. Then we get the Spurs and the Timberwolves, and we can officially write off the Spurs of being not a good team here. Only one person in the starting lineup had double-digit points, and that was Keldon Johnson with 12 points. Then we had Derek White, 4 points. Drew Eubanks, 8 points. DeJounte Murray, 7 points on 12 shots. And Doug McDermott, 9 points. So no great scoring here by the Spurs team. Nothing consistent by them. Like the first 4 or 5 games, they had us kind of thinking this could be a good team, but we've seen what they've been doing here over the last, 2-3 weeks, and it's just nothing good. So Spurs are officially not good this year. How unfortunate. And for this Timberwolves team, what did the big 3 do? Anthony Edwards, 13 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds. Karl Anthony Towns, 25 points, 12 rebounds, 5 assists. And then D'Angelo Russell, 22 points, 5 assists, and 3 rebounds. Those were the top 3 scorers of the night here. We had Malik Beasley with 15 points off the bench. That was really good. And then Patrick Beverley still playing at the 1 here, 8 points, 7 assists, 3 rebounds. So this Timberwolves team, we're starting to see them turn it around a little bit, a little bumpy at the start of the season. What do we got here for this Timberwolves team? 2-game winning streak here. We'll see if they can start to turn it up a little bit, turn it around. But, we have to get a couple more games under their belt to truly certify them as good in here. And we have to see them beat somebody better than the Spurs, obviously. But well done for the Timberwolves. We're never going to knock a win. They win 115-90. Alrighty, then the next game up here, 76ers at the Nuggets, and the 76ers get the win. Still no Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, 22 points, 4 assists, 5 rebounds. Seth Curry, 20 points, 5 assists, 6 rebounds. The 1 and 2 here, absolutely getting it done. Andre Drummond still at the 5 here, filling in for no Joel Embiid, 4 points, 6 rebounds. Tobias Harris, 17 points, 7 rebounds. And Georges Niang in the starting lineup, because no Danny Green, and Georges Niang, 11 points, 3 assists, 5 rebounds. Once again, these kind of role players stepping it up here. Andre Drummond, Georges Niang getting it done. And then off the bench, Shake Milton, 12 points, 4 assists, 5 rebounds. Charles Bassey, 12 points and 7 rebounds in only 19 minutes. What a great deep performance, even though they're missing 2 starters, Danny Green and Joel Embiid. So 76ers, what a game here last night to get the win. That is officially our 10 minutes, but we still got some games to go over, so let's quickly close it out here. The Nuggets, an unfortunate loss. Aaron Gordon still playing the 3 because, once again, no Michael Porter Jr. Aaron Gordon, 9 points, 4 rebounds. They need Aaron Gordon to kind of pick up the scoring pace that they have that they had with Michael Porter Jr. and now without him. Aaron Gordon needs to step up, and that's really not his game to be the main primary scorer, or even really the number 2 scorer on the team. That's really not his game. Jokic, 30 points, 7 assists, 10 rebounds, led the team in scoring. Will Barton, 19 points, 8 assists, 9 rebounds. And then Monte Morris, 11 points. Nothing good off the bench. Really nothing great here in the starting lineup besides Jokic's performance. The former MVP, give that man some more respect. But well done for the 76ers, folks. I can definitely see them... this is a real good team. We still have them pretty high in our power rankings. Still at number 3. We'll see if they kind of come down a little bit. But once they're once they're back to full health, folks, the 76ers team is, it's really, really gosh dang good. Alrighty, then the next game up here, 76ers at the Nuggets, and the 76ers get the win. Still no Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, 22 points, 4 assists, 5 rebounds. Tobias Harris, 17 points, 7 rebounds. And then Off the bench, Shake Milton, 12 points, 3 assists, 5 rebounds. Charles Bassey, 12 points, 4 assists, 5 rebounds. Andre Drummond, Georges Niang, 11 points, 3 assists, 5 rebounds. Charles Bassey, 12 points, 4 assists, 5 rebounds. All right, and then the last game of the night, the Raptors at the Jazz, and a loss here for this Raptors team, losing 119-103 here. Let me refresh this page. Here we go. All right. The Jazz, we'll start here since they got the win. Mike Conley, 5 points, but he did have 7 assists. Absolutely love that. Donovan Mitchell, 20 points, 4 steals, 3 rebounds. Rudy Gobert still playing the 5, 14 points, 11 rebounds. Royce O'Neal, 16 points, 3 assists, 4 rebounds. And Bojan Bogdanovic letting us down a little bit. We just had his best game, his best performance last game. And this game, 7 points on 1 of 5 from the 3. He did have 6 assists and 4 rebounds, which we'll give him credit for, but we need this man to be the scorer. We just want the scoring out of this man. So, alrighty, Bogdanovic, let's try not to let this be a thing. I want you to get, 15 to 20 points a game here, efficient shooting, all that. Unfortunately, did not have that last night, but the deep bench of the Jazz got it done. Jordan Clarkson, 12 points, 4 assists. Rudy Gay, 20 points off the bench in 18 minutes. Hassan Whiteside, 11 points, 2 rebounds, and Joe Ingles, 10 points, 8 assists, 7 rebounds. Oh my gosh. This bench. Is this Rudy Gay's first game of the season? I didn't even know they had Rudy Gay on this team. Is it? I think this is this man's first game of the year, no? May was his last game, May 2021. So yeah, this is his first game of the season, folks. So, geez Louise, the Ridge, this may be the deepest, best team in the NBA, folks. Holy cow. They could really run a starting 5 off their bench. Hassan Whiteside, Jordan Clarkson, Rudy Gay, Joe Ingles. That's not a bad starting kind of 4 out of a 5, and then you just pick somebody else out there, put Eric Paschal in at a 5 position, whatever it takes. Jeez Louise. So, and man, the Jazz, folks, they are here. And then for the Raptors, an unfortunate loss here. Fred VanVleet, 24 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds. A great night by him. Gary Trent Jr., 31 points, 3 assists, 2 rebounds. He shot 5 of 11 from 3. Great night by him. Pascal Siakam is back at the 4 here. Kem Birch at the 5. Kem Birch, 14 points, 3 rebounds. Pascal Siakam, 4 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 rebounds. Unfortunately, didn't have an efficient night. 14% on 14 shots, 0-4 from the 3. So we've really seen Pascal Siakam truly get it done at the 5, but going back to the 4, a little bit of a lackluster performance. And then we got Scotty Barnes at the 3, 10 points, 6 assists, rebounds, real good night. Unfortunately, nothing good off the bench like the Jazz had, because everybody was popping off the bench there. So Jazz, man, they are absolutely deep. They win 119-103. Alrighty, before we close out our NBA Daily 10, let's see if we have anything great here on the spread line. What do we got in tonight's action, and can we take advantage of any great value here? Alright, we get Pacers at Hornets. Pacers plus 1.5. We'll stay away from this one. This Pacers team is nothing good. Warriors, Pistons. Warriors at Pistons. Warriors -7. Lakers, Celtics. Lakers plus 2.5, and I believe LeBron James is a game time decision, so hopefully we get to see LeBron back in action for this Lakers team. Magic at the Nets. We get Magic plus 12.5. Not ready to kind of continue to buy this Magic team, even though they had a really great win a couple days ago. Thunder at the Bucks. We get Thunder plus 12.5. Bucks minus 12.5. Not ready to swallow all those points with the Bucks just quite yet. Clippers, Pelicans. Clippers minus 3.5. Pelicans plus 3.5. Let me see if everybody's good for this Clippers team. Obviously, we just talked about them. They weren't all healthy last night here on a back-to-back. I think I'd swallow the 3.5 here against this Pelicans team. That is nothing good. But let's see if everybody's good to go for this Clippers team. Let's see who's the in and out. We get Nicholas Batum, game time decision. Marcus Morris, game time decision. And that is it. So hopefully they're good to go. And then for the Pelicans, just Zion is still out. So we'll stay away from that. We really need Nicholas Batum and Marcus Morris out there on the floor. We get Bulls at Nuggets here. Bulls plus 3, Nuggets minus 3. And this Nuggets team coming off of a back-to-back here, and we get 3 points with the Bulls. I think I'm loving this. Let's see all the ins and outs. All the Bulls. Vucevic is still out, unfortunately. And then for the Nuggets, Jokic, game time decision. Jamal Murray out. Michael Porter Jr. out. So it's not bad value right there. Bulls plus 3. They've been kind of rocking without Vucevic for the last couple of weeks here and still having good scoring nights. So we'll take the Bulls plus 3. This Nuggets team in a back-to-back, they need another score. They don't have that kind of go-to score. Yes, you got Jokic down low, but That doesn't prove to win. Obviously, we just saw that last night. Then we get the Mavericks at the Suns. Mavericks plus 8.5, Suns minus 8.5. Isn't this didn't they just face and the Suns won by double digits 2 days ago? Am I bugging? No, yeah, the Suns just beat them 105-98. They've got another game here still in Phoenix, so we'll stay away from that. Not going to bet on a second leg right there. And then the last game of the night, the Raptors at the Kings. Raptors plus 3.5, Kings minus 3.5. Got to see what this Raptors team, they've been shaky the last couple of games here, so we'll see if they can kind of get everything ironed out here. But we'll take the Bulls plus 3 tonight over the Nuggets and see if they can still get it done without Vucci on the floor. Alrighty, that is all the NBA that we needed to talk and go over for today. So now let's shift gears a little bit here to the NFL, and let's start with the Thursday night game from last night. Patriots at Falcons. I think this was the first Thursday night game that we predicted correctly, folks. Thank goodness. We know Thursday games are usually a little bit wonky out here, and we took the Patriots minus 6.5. We knew that was great value because the Patriots defense is absolutely good, and this Falcons offense, we didn't even know Cordell Patterson wasn't going when we made that pick, and then it came about an hour, 2 hours before game time. They're like, yeah, no Cordell Patterson, and I'm like, sheesh, now this Falcons offense can absolutely do nothing, and that was exactly right because they put up 0 points last night. So this Patriots defense gets it done, and then the offense just playing game managing football really throughout the entire game, and that was all they needed to do. So the Patriots get the big old 25-0. Shut them out. Goose egg by the Falcons. Arthur Smith not pleased with his team. Ended up sitting Matt Ryan for like the final couple of minutes, and that was a poor decision as well because the backup, the second string and the third string quarterback gets in the game, and they both throw an interception against this Patriots defense. So it was really just a good defensive battle all throughout. Patriots scored 10 points in the first quarter. They scored another 3 going into halftime. So, Arthur Smith, you got to make some changes out of halftime. Got to do something. This was still a winnable game in your grasp. You're only down 2 scores, 13-0 going into halftime. But then they're punting. Turnover on downs. They get a little bit of ballsy a little bit here. 4th and 1 at the New England 16-yard line. Trying to turn around the game. But they can't get it done. The Patriots defense steps up big, forces a turnover on downs. Next time Matt Ryan's out on the field, he throws an interception, then he gets benched. Or does he throw? No, he throws back-to-back. He throws back-to-back interceptions. It's still only 16-0 at this point, trying to do something to get them back in the game. Unfortunately, Matt Ryan throws a pick, and then with about 5 minutes left, they bench him, and then they have Josh Rosen come in. He throws an interception, and then they have the third string. Felipe Franks comes in, and he throws a pick, and then the Falcons are like, okay, can we please just go home now, please? And the game is over here. So Patriots just playing really good game managing football here. Let's start to break down some of these numbers from last night. Mac Jones goes 22 of 26, efficient as heck, folks. I would say that's like 84%. Let's get the exact number. 22 of 26, we get 84. Did I just say 84? Can I do the quick math? Am I a human calculator? 84% completion percentage by Mac Jones, 207 yards, 1 touchdown. He did throw a pick, folks. He did throw an interception. And it was funny because Joe Buck and Troy Aikman were a little bit slurping Mac Jones, and literally the entire media has been slurping Mac Jones this week. And I'm not knocking the media slurping Mac Jones. I get it. But as soon as they were slurping him, then Mac Jones goes and throws the interception. And as we see on the scoreboard, the final score, the Falcons could do nothing with the ball offensively whenever they had it. And, this is it. We knew Bill Belichick was going to take away Cordell Patterson anyway because that's the only good offense that they have. They're really not able to utilize Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts is still a rookie. Darren Waller took a couple of years to get where he is. So, we really shouldn't have expected Kyle Pitts to come in and have a great offensive production season. and especially now without no Calvin Ridley, who is obviously the number one option here, and now nor Cordell Patterson, who was kind of the number one option now that there was no Calvin Ridley, and now Kyle Pitts has to be the number one option as a rookie, and that's just not his game right now, obviously. So Falcons were struggling all over the place offensively, could not take advantage of the turnover, and went for it on 4th and 1, folks. Went for it on 4th and 1 and got stopped, man. If you can't get a yard, in the NFL. That doesn't say anything really great about this team overall. And Arthur Smith, I mean, he's got to get this team figured out here. You've got to move off of Matt Ryan. I know this isn't 100% Matt Ryan's fault for this loss here. This Falcons team really has no great offensive weapons consistently, and they're really not utilizing the offensive pieces that they have very well. Arthur Smith, put a lot of belief and faith in Cordell Patterson to finally get it done. Arthur Smith, maybe a little bit of an ego, because the Troy Aikman and Joe Buck, the announcers for the game last night, they brought up a really good point. I mean, Cordell Patterson is a true gadget player, and we know that. But, he's gone around, the league a little bit. He's been in and out. Nobody's ever really made him work in an offensive scheme. So maybe Arthur Smith, coming from the Titans the last 2 seasons as their offensive coordinator, trying to be a little bit of a big brain IQ, wanting to outthink and truly be, the smartest person, to be like, hey, I was the coach that finally made Cordell Patterson be a huge contributor to an offense in the running game and the passing game, the area that all the other coaches that have had Cordell Patterson has truly floundered with in the past. So I don't know if this is an ego thing of Arthur Smith wanting to make Cordell Patterson work and kind of be the main guy here, but obviously it's not working for Arthur Smith as they're 4-6. But let's go back to the Patriots here and finish their stats. So Mac Jones throws the interception, but everything else was really great. And Mac Jones was placing the ball accurate as heck. And that's exactly what Mac Jones is. That's the best thing about him, is his accuracy. And we saw that in Alabama. But we contributed his accuracy to all the great talent that was on the Alabama team last year with Jalen Waddle and Devontae Smith. And Najee Harris. Holy cow, that man! I still can't believe how freaking stacked offensively that team was. So, it was Mac Jones. We watched him, coming into the draft and all that in the offseason. And, he was throwing accurate to all the receivers, but all the receivers were wide open, 5 yards of separation, because, there's no defense in college, and that Alabama team, they're Alabama, so they're already good, and all these receivers, I mean, we talk about it all the time, college defenses, they may have, on average about 1 or 2 good players defensively, and this Alabama team has like 4 or 5 great pieces offensively, so there's going to be a lot of people open, and we saw that. But Mac Jones, now that defenses and are a lot better than what they are in college, obviously, and there's no real wide open in the NFL. We've heard about Tua last year, his rookie year, not knowing what open was in the NFL, and now, he's truly slinging it this year. Mac Jones is like, yeah, open, not open, I'll still sling it in there and be accurate to where only the receiver can catch the ball. So Mac Jones's accuracy, folks, is absolutely I don't know if I can go phenomenal quite yet. I think that might be a little bit of an overreaction. But overall, it's really, really gosh dang good here by Mac Jones. And he's getting it done, efficient, accurate, not really turning the ball over. Anything to an alarming point. Yeah, he had a pick here. It's unfortunate, but overall, it's not like we're going in every single week being like, well, if Mac Jones throws a pick like he really does every single game, they're not going to win. We don't really get that. He's playing great game, managing football, not turning the ball over. So, well done for Mac Jones last night. But then the running game, yes, sir. Damian Harris back this week. So we thought Ramondre Stevenson's touches may come down a little bit, but Ramondre Stevenson led the team in rushes and led the team in rushing yards. Our man, Ramondre Stevenson, and we got a great play to watch. We can watch it now, but let's talk about his stats first. 12 carries for Ramondre Stevenson, 69 big ol' yards, 5.8 yards a carry. Sheesh, putting up a little bit of Derrick Henry numbers a little bit. No. I know we haven't seen Derrick Henry in the last couple of weeks because of the injury. Truly unfortunate, but Ramondre Stevenson is kind of filling that hole that we have for Derrick Henry. So well done to Ramondre Stevenson. And let's watch this play from last night. Maybe his best run of the day, folks. A nice 10-yard pickup. And that's what's so great about Ramondre Stevenson. Yes, he's not the biggest. Yes, he's not the fastest, but I mean, he's fast as heck still. He's big as heck still. And he's got great strength, as we're going to see on this stiff arm. So here we go. It comes in the first quarter. Patriots at midfield. Ramondre Stevenson hits the outside, and look at this stiff arm. Ooh, pushes him right into the ground. Get up. What are you trying to tackle me? Do you not know I'm Ramondre Stevenson? What are you coming at me trying to tackle me for? Just try to force me out of bounds. Run me to the boundary. I'll go out of bounds here. Let's get it from this angle, the back angle here. But he just pushes this man right into the ground. Disrespectful as heck. Here we go. Well, hopefully they show it. They're not going to show it, so we got to rewind it and watch it ourselves right here. So here we go. Let's watch the play one more time. Bounces it out to the outside. Great speed right there. And then just one final thing before he comes out of bounds. Boom. Push that man. Push that defender down into the ground for trying to tackle me. This is what you get for trying to bring down Ramondre Stevenson. You get brought down. You the one going down. You trying to get me down. You going down. What are you, crazy? Ramondre Stevenson showing out every single week. And once again, he did not fumble the ball. So we will still be able to see Ramondre Stevenson next week as well. We can't wait. We've already got, I know it's Thursday, so we got to go extra days without seeing Ramondre Stevenson, but when we can see him next week, oh yeah, I've already got an alert set for when Ramondre Stevenson plays next. Cannot wait to see that man back on the field. But like we said, Damien Harris back this week off the concussion. 10 rushes for 56 yards. So once again, running back by committee, absolutely great here. And remember, the Patriots still had Sony Michel coming into the season as well. So this could have been 3 great running backs, but they sent Sony Michel to the Rams because the Rams were a little bit short in that position. But that just gives us more Ramondre Stevenson. So I guess it's for the greater good that Sony Michel left New England. So running back by committee was fantastic here by New England. And who was Mac Jones throwing to? Kendrick Bourne, leading receiver, 4 catches, 42 yards. Nelson Aguilar, 5 catches, 40 yards, a touchdown. Jacoby Myers, 4 catches, 39 yards. Do y'all know what all those 3 top receiving players for the Patriots all have in common? They're actually wide receivers. So it's not like Mac Jones is like dinking and dunking to running backs and taking the safety valve options and all that. He's going to his actual weapons. And yes, you know, you could still utilize your tight ends. They still utilize their tight ends in the red zone. Then we have Hunter Henry, 2 catches, 25 yards. But overall, this is Mac Jones kind of getting the ball to his playmakers, not dinking and dunking and not just kind of being afraid and dumping it down and all that, going to his actual receivers. So for that, once again, another big green flag for Mac Jones. Then we have Jonnu Smith, 1 catch for 17 yards. Brandon Bolden, 2 catches, 14 yards. N'Keal Harry, 2 catches, 14 yards. Damien Harris, 1 catch, 9 yards. And our man Ramondre Stevenson, 1 target, 1 catch, 6 yards. We'll take that all day. So overall, everybody in the Patriots offense was absolutely getting it done here. But really the main focus was this Patriots defense. And we're going to talk about this defense in a second. But let's talk about this Falcons offense. And it kind of ties in together, so we can kind of talk about it here. But let's head over to Matt Ryan's stats and start breaking him down a little bit and what they were doing offensively, if they were even doing anything offensively, because obviously no points last night, nothing great, awful, atrocious, if you will. But Matt Ryan goes 19 of 28, 67% completion percentage, but only for 153 yards and 19 completions, dink and dunk. Once again, not having Calvin Ridley, not having Cordero Patterson, and then the Patriots, when they don't have those options, they're like, okay, I guess we can lock up Kyle Pitts, and then truly the Falcons have nobody to go to. So Matt Ryan was forced just to dink and dunk against his Patriots team. No touchdowns, obviously, for 0 points, and then he did have 2 interceptions. Not great, but they did come In the fourth quarter when they were just trying to make something happen, down 13-0. This is when the first interception came at the New England 44-yard line. Nothing great. Then they score another 3 off of it, and then the second interception comes down 16-0 at their own 49-yard line. So Matt Ryan throwing 2 picks, and then Josh Rosen gets into the game, 1 of 3 for 5 yards and a pick. He threw a pick 6, and then Felipe Franks gets in the game 0 of 1 for 1 interception. So this Patriots defense making the Falcons offense look like trash. And, this is not good for Josh Rosen because we already know he's trash. He's getting passed around the league, and this is what you do. The 3 throws that you have in this game, 1 turns into a pick 6. I mean, come on, Josh Rosen. Unfortunately, the man just needs to be out of the NFL. We were talking about Mason Rudolph last week. I don't know if I take Josh Rosen over Mason Rudolph. I do think I take Mason Rudolph over Josh Rosen, and that's the word. If that just came out of our mouth. So honestly, Josh Rosen needs to be out of the NFL. If you're ever worse than Mason Rudolph, you need to be banned, exiled from the NFL, and never ever pick up a football again. It should be illegal for you to do that. So, Josh Rosen still floundering. He will never be a starter in this league. It's unfortunate, first overall pick, but it's what it is, folks. I mean, I'm not the one that's making this dude trash. He's just trash. And I get it. He's an NFL player. I get it. He's better than me. I get it. He's richer than me. I get it, folks. I don't need to say that. We're talking about NFL players, but he's the worst NFL player. He's the worst professional NFL player that there is in the league, folks. All right, and then in the running game, nothing good out here. Quadre Olison. Have you ever heard of this man before, folks? No, you haven't. 9 rushes for 34 yards. Then we have Keith Smith. Have you ever heard of him? No, you haven't. 3 rushes for 8 yards. Then Mike Davis. Once again, we didn't even want Mike Davis on this team in the offseason. We never really thought Mike Davis and Cordell Patterson would be kind of the dynamic duo in the running game to make your offense work. And here we are. No Cordell Patterson, and you don't even try to rely on Mike Davis. You don't even give him the bulk of the load carrying the ball wise. So I don't know what Arthur Smith is thinking out here. And then who was Matt Ryan throwing to in this game? We had Russell Gage, leading receiver, 5 receptions for 49 yards. Kyle Pitts, 3 receptions, 29 yards. Olamide Zaccheaus, 3 catches, 23 yards. Tajay Sharp, 2 catches, 21 yards. Mike Davis, 3 catches, 20 yards. Keith Smith, 1 catch, 11 yards. So nothing great by this Falcons offense the entirety of the game, and it really was because of the defense. And we are going to watch the Patriots' best defensive plays right here, and it's a 4.5-minute clip, folks, because it was just defense after defense after defense after defense. And we've been talking up this Cowboys defense this week. We've officially named it the Walk of Fame defense, and this Patriots defense is definitely great as well. We get Matthew Judon, Jalen Mills, Kyle Duggar, Kyle Van Noy, that once again I don't understand what Brian Flores, the head coach of the Dolphins, was thinking of just letting him go, signed him to like a 3-year deal coming into this season or last year, and then they just cut him this year for what? And then he goes back to Bill Belichick, who we already know Kyle Van Noy is already a great player, and then he goes to Bill Belichick where he can truly exceed. So I don't understand what Brian Flores is doing. Once again, this is just going to, defensive-minded head coaches think they're so freaking smart and they can win with, garbage pieces. I mean, they don't need the best players. So that's just goes into the thinking of defensive-minded head coaches, folks. Again, going into our thinking of we don't want really defensive-minded coaches at the head coaching position. Once again, Bill Belichick, the obvious exception, folks. Once again, we don't need to say that every time we say this. This Patriots defense, and I think we've got a nickname for them, folks. We're going to give this Patriots defense a nickname as well. And, this is great seeing the defenses here step up. I'm all about defenses. If I'm a coach in an NFL and I have the choice between being the offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator, give me the defensive coordinator spot. I'm trying to stop you all from scoring. You're gonna score on me? No. We're gonna shut you down. Love offensive side better than the defense, or love the defensive side of football better than the offense. But Where were we? Yeah, Cowboys defense being called the Walk of Fame defense. And then after the game here, we get Matthew Judon with this quote. Matthew Judon, and we saw him. He had a couple of sacks that hopefully we can see in the highlights as well. Matthew Judon on the Patriots defense says, quote, "We kind of want to be assholes on the field. We play within the rules, but we're a nasty group." Ooh, I love that. We play within the rules, but we're coming at you, and we're going to be talking our shit, and we are going to be assholes because we're trying to get in your head. Once again, another aspect of defense, getting in your opponent's head, being flashy, being disrespectful to get in their heads too, so they try and do something that they shouldn't. Oh, you're going to talk shit about me? Okay, now I'm going to try and throw this 50-yard deep ball, but it's going to result in a pick because we're playing you. This team is actively playing their offensive opponents, and I'm all here for it. So the official name for this Patriots defense that we're going to give them, since they want to be assholes, but play within the rules, but be a nasty group, get inside the offensive player's head, we're calling this defense the Provocateurs. Ooh, the Provocateurs coming into town and ready to shut you down and shut you out. 25-0. The Provocateurs come into your arena after the entire 28-3. That's the entire narrative through this entire week. 28-3, Super Bowl lead, blowing it. Matt Ryan blowing it. Patriots coming from behind. Patriots defense getting it done. 28-3, coming back from behind. And they come into your stadium and shut you out 25-0 after, the big game that y'all were in, blowing a 28-3 lead and all that. So we have the provocateur defense here with this Patriots team. And, we seeing these defenses step up, it's what kind of happens every single year, as we kind of hit the midpoint and start to see kind of the back half of the season unfold. It's really the defenses that start to really take over from this point on, now that there's tape on teams, now that, we know what these teams are doing, and we've really seen their entirety or the bulk of their playbook since they've been playing, 10, 11 games so far. This is really when the defenses truly show up and show out, and so far this Patriots defense has truly been showing out and showing up here. Same thing with the Cowboys defenses, so we're giving a little respect to these defenses here. We've got the Walk of Fame defense with the Cowboys, and we've got the Provocateurs with this Patriots defense, and hey, we'll see what defense steps up on Sunday to see if they get a name. There's some defenses that are still really, really good in this league. Like the Rams defense is pretty good. The Eagles defense is pretty good. We'll see if we can give them some names. What is kind of statistically the best defense in the league? Which defense am I forgetting here? That could possibly earn a name this week. We got the Bills. The Bills defense, they definitely have to have a name because this Bills defense is very, very good. We'll watch the Bills this week against the Jets and see if we can give them a name. 2 names are already off the table. Can't get the Provocateurs and can't get the Walk of Fame, but we'll see what defense we can give them. The Packers defense could definitely be a nameable defense as well, so we'll see what they can do this week and see if we can give them a name. But let's watch this Patriots defense here, folks. The Provocateurs get it done. First quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, first play, literally first play, and then literally the last play, a la, picking off backup and third string quarterbacks just to be a provocateur, adding insult to injury. Don't just because you put your starting quarterback out of the game doesn't mean that we're going to put our backups in and kind of phone in the game for the rest of the through 2 minutes that are left on the clock. No, that's your decision. We're still going 100% out here, and that's exactly what the Provocateurs did last night. So here we go. Let's watch the Provocateurs work. Here we go. Matt Ryan, empty backfield, 39 at his own 5-yard line, and that's just great coverage right there, breaking up the ball, trying to go to Kyle Pitts over the middle of the field there for the first down. But look at this, great defense to knock the ball away. Boom, watch it in slow motion right here. Boom, knock the ball away. You're trying to catch the ball? What are you, nuts? You think you're catching a ball on Kyle Duggar? No, you are not. Next play up here is just a run play here, and Matthew Judon leading the charge of bringing him down 4 yards in the backfield. Easy peasy. Next play, Matt Ryan, plenty of time to throw, so he's going to go a little bit deep, and it's high, and it's on the sideline, and they force him out of bounds. Incomplete pass to Tajay Sharp, and there's a flag on the field, and the defense gets it done. Here we go, Matt Ryan rolling out to the right, trying to do something, and that's an easy sack there for Kyle Van Noy. That's just too easy. I don't know what Matt Ryan's trying to do right here. Play action, rolling out to the right. Nothing open, and tries to kind of go back inside. Matt Ryan, you are one of the most unathletic quarterbacks in the league. You can't run. You must throw the ball. You're not juking anybody in the backfield. You are getting taken down for a sack like we just saw right there. Here we go, 3rd and 1. Play action. Matt Ryan going to throw it. Here we go. Once again, Matt Ryan trying to be athletic, trying to get the defenders on their feet so he can escape out of the pocket. Once again, you are not athletic. You are not fast. You don't have any quick acceleration, and you get brought down for like a 10-yard sack on 3rd and 1. Once again, Kyle Van Noy getting it done. Who do you think you are, Matt Ryan? You're a little old in this league too. You were drafted in 08, my man. You're a little up there in the age department, and you weren't athletic when you came out of college. So I don't know why this man is trying to run all the time here. And then here we go, Matthew Judon getting to Matt Ryan here on 3rd and 9 for a sack. Once again, Matthew Judon has been obliterating quarterbacks this season. Took it a little easy on Matt Ryan. No big sack hits, but overall got a couple of sacks. I want to say he got let's get these official sack numbers up here by Matthew Judon, because he's been having a hell of a year so far. Kyle Van Noy with 2 sacks. Matthew Judon, how many sacks this man has? What do we got here? Why can I not see this man's name? They don't have this man's name up here? They didn't calculate Matthew Judon's stats? What's up with that? That was a sack right there, and they got this man not even listed here. Oh, here we go, Matt Judon. Here we go. I just missed it, folks. Here we go. Here we go. 1 sack, 1 tackle for loss. Fantastic. All right, back to the highlights here. What do we got? Who else is going to show up here for this provocateur defense? Who's going to get it done next up here? We've already seen Kyle Duggar and Matthew Judon and Kyle Van Noy. Where's our man Jalen Mills at? Where's Devin McCourty at? Because they're coming up, folks. Here we go. Matt Ryan, shotgun. Once again, just getting brought down for a sack again. Taken down. Matt Ryan trying to throw the ball. Get rid of it. You're going to get taken down. The pump fakes, the trying to escape out of the pocket. How many times do we have to tell you? How many times do we have to keep kicking your butt, old man? Get rid of the ball. You cannot move on the pocket. And then once again, trying to establish the run here. Taken down 2 yards in the backfield by the collective of the defensive line of the Patriots. Matt Ryan here in the 4th quarter, down 13-0, trying to do something. Lofts the ball, trying to hit Kyle Pitts. And once again, you're going to overthrow. He's backpedaling here. Pressure's coming, just floats it, and it gets away from him. And great job here to secure the interception by Devin McCourty. Fantastic interception. All right, Matt Ryan, here we go. Next possession here. And this is an interception as well. A high throw that Matt Ryan gets picked off on. Here he goes, just trying to hit the receiver on the left sideline, and that is just too high, and it gets intercepted. Once again, Matt Ryan is trash, and well done with the toe taps by J.C. Jackson to get the ball. Unfortunately, stepped out of bounds on the return, but this is a catch here. 1 foot down, 2 foot down, possession. Yes, sir, truly interception. Alrighty, and now we get Josh Rosen in the game. Then once again, their defense is not going to stop. Just because you put in your second string with 2 minutes left does not mean the Patriots are going to be like, okay, well, they're putting in their second string, so let's go easy and just let the clock in the final 2 minutes run out. No, that's your choice. This team plays to the very last whistle, and unfortunately, Josh Rosen and Felipe Franks, unfortunate. I think they thought they were like, okay, well, the defense is going to be, that 100%. They're not going to be gassed up 100% out here, but they were, because we're going to get this pick here by Josh Rosen. Absolute trash here. This is just too easy. Kyle Van Noy with the pick 6. Yes, linebackers getting pick 6s by this provocateur Patriots defense. Fantastic. Josh Rosen, trash. Look at this throw. Try to like sling it sidearm and didn't see the Kyle Van Noy linebacker sliding over. Trash. Josh Rosen is still trash. He learned from Tom Brady. He learned from Cliff Kingsbury. And he is just trash still. Unfortunate. And then here we go. Felipe Franks gets into the mix and another interception here. Throw way behind the receiver. A nice jump on the route here by the provocateur defense of this Patriots team. So once again, look at this. Way behind. Great jump. Fantastic. So this Patriots defense got it done all game long. Interceptions, sacks, stifled the running game, passing game, couldn't do anything, and the Patriots get the shutout win, winning 25-0, folks. So we'll see what defenses can step up this Sunday, and we'll see if we can give any other defenses some nicknames, folks. We'll see who steps up big time. After the game here, Matt Ryan, the Falcons lose twice in less than a week by a combined score of 68-3. And Matt Ryan says, quote, "It's been a tough 5 days offensively." Yes, it has. Matt Ryan aging out of this league. Rookie head coach Arthur Smith not having your A1 tier 1 piece, and Calvin Ridley not having your number 2 option gadget player in Cordell Patterson. So it's not 100% on the shoulders of Matt Ryan. But, this is what the Falcons are, folks. This is not a good team overall. We got anything else here? We get the Matthew Judon quote that we love. And then J.C. Jackson calls defense one of NFL's best after shutout, saying, quote, "It's gonna get scary." Ooh, so this they've even got more ahead. They've got more than what they can do than what they showed last night. Let's read this quote here. Quote, "I don't want to brag too much, but I feel like we've got one of the best defenses in the league right now. We've got a good pass rush. We've got some guys up front who are doing pretty good this season. The secondary has always been pretty good, and we're starting to build that chemistry defensively." Exactly that. Midway part of the season, the Dolphins defense has been great these last 2 weeks, just finding your footing and getting everything, the chemistry all right here. So the back end of the season is easy for these defenses here. So watch out, folks. This could be a great defensive week as well. The defense is going to start being taken over the league here on a weekly basis. So start betting some unders. I don't know if these overs are going to start hitting the way that these defenses are playing. So Patriots defense, folks, absolutely here, and Mac Jones is truly taking advantage of it. Alrighty, that was Thursday Night Football from last night. Let's quickly head over to our last film study that we weren't able to get to on Wednesday. I still kind of want to take a quick look at Carson Wentz for this Colts team. There's no viability, there's no believability, there's no bettability in this Colts team this week. We're going to be taking the Bills-Colts matchup in our official picks this week, regardless of what we see out of Carson Wentz right here. I just want to watch these incompletions. Once again, he went 22 of 34, but only for 180 yards, and he had no touchdowns, no picks. But once again, this Colts team is all what they do is just run the ball. That's the best thing about this team. But they let Carson Wentz control the game too much, and they're coming away with games that they haven't had their signature win, a nice blowout win against a really good team or anything like that. They're winning these games close. They're playing down to their competition. Now they have to go on the road against the Bills this week. This is going to be a nightmare for this Colts team overall. They're not a good team offensively. This Bills defense is very, very good. So even if Carson Wentz is playing good here, of all these throws that we're going to watch, all these incompletions and why they floundered and had to settle for field goals and not touchdowns, we're going to watch all these passes. So even if Carson Wentz is looking good, if the Jaguars defense was giving the Colts fits, then watch out for the Bills, because their defense is a whole lot better than this Jaguars defense. And we've seen this Jaguars defense step up over these last 2 weeks against the Bills and then against the Colts here. So let's watch some of these incompletions here. We can we'll take them from the sideline footage, the all-22, so we can see where everybody was. But I really want to watch these incompletions here. What are his incompletions looking like? Are they on him? Are they not on him? And then I want to see why are they struggling to score touchdowns. Once again, all these field goals, they only had one touchdown drive, and let's read what they did on this touchdown drive. 5-yard pass, 20-yard run, 5-yard run, pass to complete, 7-yard pass, 8-yard run, 4-yard run, 4-yard run for the touchdown. So Carson Wentz actively participated in 12 yards, folks, out of 53 for a touchdown, and then every other drive had to result in a field goal. So we'll see why and if they were on Carson Wentz. But let's start on this first incompletion here. Here we go. 1st and 10 at the Jacksonville's 12-yard line in the red zone here, and he gets brought down for a sack. Now, there was really nowhere to go with the football right here. Carson Wentz dropping back to pass, nowhere really to go. Pressure by the Jaguars gets there, but once again, we'll spoil the pick already. We're going to take Bills -7 this week, folks. We're taking Bills -7. So yes, there was nothing open here, but the Jacksonville Jaguars defense got pressure on Carson Wentz. The Bills defense will be able to get pressure on Carson Wentz, especially when Carson Wentz has to go into Buffalo. This was at home, folks. This was in the Dome in Indianapolis, and they were still getting the pressure and making Carson Wentz uncomfortable. So be prepared for sacks all day long by the Bills. We're definitely taking them -7. No debate, no question. So that's incompletion number 1. The pressure just getting there pretty quickly here. And then here we go, 3rd and 3. Once again, in the red zone, and they have to settle for a field goal on this drive and not coming away with 7. And why is that so important? Because they left the door open for the Jaguars to come and try to potentially win this game, folks. The game is 17-23. Colts have a 7-point lead, and the Jaguars have 2 minutes left to try and tie up this game. Now, unfortunately, we know Trevor Lawrence is truly unclutch, where really Josh Allen kind of hits his stride in the second half of games, really. So even if it is close, Josh Allen will be able to run away with the game in the second half to cover the 7. No problem, folks. So let's watch this incompletion here on 3rd and 3. You've got to get it done in the red zone. Let's see Carson Wentz not get it done in the red zone. His fault. Dropping back to pass, looking left, and he just overthrows it. Now, there's not a lot of separation down here. This Jaguars defense had great coverage on this play. Everybody is covered very well by the time of this throw. There is nowhere to go with the ball, and Carson Wentz tries to hit a corner fade for the touchdown. But once again, the Bills defense will be able to lock it up. So yes, there was nowhere for Carson Wentz to go with the ball, but there will be nowhere to go with the ball against this Bills defense at home as well. Alrighty, let's go to this touchdown drive. I want to watch this 2nd and 5 incomplete pass. This is his 3rd pass of this, and this comes at the Jaguars' 23-yard line. Once again, very close to the red zone. This is where this Colts offense is truly struggling. So let's watch Carson Wentz here. Play action pass. Plenty of time to throw, and then he tries to dink it down, and it's just incomplete. Looked to be off the fingertips. Let's see, was there anywhere to go with this ball? Did he miss any read? Was there anybody open? You've kind of got, I believe this is Jack Doyle, their tight end, over the middle of the field. A little open. You throw it a little bit out here underneath. But overall, he doesn't even look that way. So, incomplete pass for Carson Wentz. Not good. All right, here we go. Let's watch this 3rd and 15. Now, this is, probably, it's tough to pick up a 3rd and 15, probably not trying for it. But let's see what Carson Wentz does on a 3rd and 15. Was it a setup screen? It was a pass incomplete either way. Dropping back to pass, plenty of time to throw. Pressure now just getting there, and then he looks to dunk it down there when the pressure got there. But let's see, was there anything open? Should Carson Wentz have thrown this ball? It's 3rd and 15, waiting for these routes to develop. Nowhere to go with the ball. Unfortunate. So they have to punt on this drive. All right, next drive. Let's go to this 3rd and 3. He goes 2-yard pass. Carson Wentz goes 2-yard pass on 3rd and 3. Come on. Pressure got there immediately. And let's bring this one in the broadcast so we get a better look at it than from the sky angle. But here we go. Carson Wentz, 3rd and 3. Gotta pick this up. Gotta move the ball. Pressure gets there. He makes a wild throw, and we know this is what Carson Wentz does as well. Makes some wild throws that you probably shouldn't throw and just live for the next down. Carson Wentz really doesn't do that, and this Bills defense will take advantage. We read the stat earlier this week, folks, and it's still kind of mind-boggling to think about. And now actually the Patriots, because of last night, overtakes the Bills. Oh no, I was looking at the wrong the wrong percentage number. My apologies. But overall, here we go. The Bills percentage of drives ending in an offensive turnover. So the Bills defense percentage of drives forcing their opposing offenses to end the drive in a turnover. 21%, folks. 1/5. A fifth of the drives that the Bills are going up against defensively will be a turnover. Do you know how crazy that is? 21% of the times that the defense is out on the field, they'll come away with the turnover. 21% of the time. That is absolutely crazy to think about. So if Carson Wentz is making all these dumb decisions to kind of try to keep the ball alive, to try to make a play, the Bills will be able to counter it. No problem at all. No problem at all. So fantastic job here by this Bills defense, and we haven't even seen it yet, folks. It's going to be great against this Colts offense. No debate. All right. What else do we got here? Let's keep watching some incompletions here. We get a 3rd and 6, pass incomplete. Come on, gotta pick it up. Gotta move the ball here. Once again, they scored 17 points in the first quarter. 17 points in the first quarter, and then 6 for the rest of the game. Non-sustainable offense, non-consistent offense, no viability, no bettability in this Colts team, folks. None at all. Here we go. Carson Wentz, 3rd and 5. Stepping up in the pocket. Throwing, not accurate as hat, right at the feet of T.Y. Hilton. And it's not like they've got garbage receivers. T.Y. Hilton, Michael Pittman Jr., these are really great receivers, but Carson Wentz can't get the ball to him. Throwing, stepping up in the pocket, and it's an ugly ball right to the feet of T.Y. Hilton. Unfortunate they have to punt. All right, now they have to settle for a field goal here. Why do they have to settle for a field goal? Because of 3rd and 8. Let's watch this 2nd and 11 that results into a 3rd and 8. Let's see. What did Carson Wentz do here on 2nd and 11 here for the short pass? Why the short passes? It's a setup screen. Okay. And it only goes for about 2-3 yards. Let's watch this 3rd and 8 now. Carson Wentz, unfortunate. Now in the red zone. Can't get it done. Have to settle for a field goal. Can't close the door on this Jaguars team. Just dinks it down about 2 yards, 3 yards short of the first down marker, and the receiver can't get there. Once again, we've been seeing quarterbacks. You know which quarterbacks go for the boundary? Trevor Siemian and Mac Jones. When they know it's 3rd and 8, they're going to the boundary. The play callers are calling plays where the receivers are all running to that first down marker. The Colts, Carson Wentz is not throwing to that marker, throwing underneath, hoping that they can get yards after the catch for the first down. So it's not working, and whoever's calling the plays here, going for these dink and dunk routes, not going to the boundary. What are we doing? Mac Jones is playing better than Carson Wentz. Trevor Siemian is playing better than Carson Wentz. We shouldn't be saying these things, folks, but here we are 10 weeks into the season saying these things about Carson Wentz. Not good. No viability, no bettability in this Colts team. Trash. This is a trash offense. This is not a good offense. Running the ball, it's good. They've got the pieces to run the ball, but it doesn't result in no wins. And still they rely on Carson Wentz to truly win them the game. Stop doing that. I want Carson Wentz to throw the ball maybe 10 times a game. I want 50, 60, 70 rushes here by committee, because you've got 3, Nyheim Hines, Jonathan Taylor, Marlon Mack. You can utilize them all here. But that's not what they do. All right, here we go. 3rd and 10. Here we go. Now, let's watch all these. Let's watch all these plays here. 2-minute drive, a minute left in the first half here. Let's see what Carson Wentz decides to do with this ball. When you have to move the ball, they've got one timeout with a minute and 5 seconds left, so you can kind of clock some ball here, no problem. work the boundary a little bit. But let's see what Carson Wentz does on a 2-minute drive. We'll take it in the all-22 so we can see where all these routes are. Here we go. Carson Wentz first pass is going to be a 10-yard completion. Once again, just dinks it down. Nothing really open in the middle of the field. Once again, good job by this Jaguars defense. Once again, the Bills defense will be able to lock up these receivers as well. No problem. We have no concern about this Bills defense locking up this Colts offense. So he takes the dink down right there, goes for 10 yards. Now we're going to get 3 straight passing completions. Here we go. First one, trying to take the check down, ball batted at the line of scrimmage. Once again, taking the check down, not pressuring the field vertically, folks. Nothing great. Carson Wentz, next play, plenty of time to throw. Once again, nothing open. These defenders for the Jaguars are all over these Colts receivers. No separation. You think they're going to be able to get separation on the Bills defense? The one that is having 21% of their drives for the game end in a defensive takeaway? No way. They're going to be jumping these routes. They're going to be all over the place. And once again here, Carson Wentz, let's take this one in the broadcast. Throwing silly. The man is throwing silly out here, folks. Carson Wentz is throwing silly. There's nothing you want to say about a quarterback. Here we go. He's going to try to keep the ball, play alive a little bit too much, getting brought down, just kind of flicks this ball, and it goes harmlessly incomplete. But the Bills will make you pay for that. They do it 21% of the time, folks. All right, so that's the first half. Keeping the door open. Now let's go into their first drive. We get a 3rd and 4 pass incomplete. Carson Wentz, please move the ball here. Continue the drives. Eat up the clock. You've got a 20-9 lead right here. 3rd and 4. Pressure coming right up the middle. He throws it up here for T.Y. Hilton, and he can't bring it down. Now, this is a good throw here by Carson Wentz right here. This is a good throw. Sees the one-on-one matchup. Sees the pressure coming. Delivers the ball. It's catchable for T.Y. Hilton. Unfortunately, he couldn't come down with the ball, but once again, defender all over him. The Bills defenders will be doing the same thing out here, folks. That ball falls incomplete. They have to punt. Here we go. This is 3rd and 20. Let's see what they try and do here. This is obviously going to be on Carson Wentz's fault, we don't think. 3rd and 20 behind the sticks here. Dropping back to pass. And then almost got intercepted. I mean, the defender jumped the heck out of this route, tipped the ball a little bit right here. This Jaguars defense was smothering this Colts offense. The Colts offense at home could not beat the Jaguars defense. Now, I don't think that sounds as bad as, maybe we're making it seem, because I think we have to give credit to this Jaguars defense as we're progressing through the midpoint to the back end of the season. As we just said, these defenses are picking up the pace. So once again, giving us credit for the Bills defense this week. So nothing great with this Colts team, folks. Carson Wentz can't get it done. They can't get any separation. We've got 2 more drives here. We get a 3rd and 10. It's 3rd and 10, and it's a 3-yard loss right here on a pass. So I'm assuming it's a setup screen. Here it is, just a quick hitter. And the defense rallies to it, doesn't fool anybody. Once again, what the heck is this play calling? 3rd and 10, and you run this kind of quick hitter off the left side, like the defense isn't going to be barreling down on it. So it's just not smart play calling either. Once again, no buyability in this Colts team offensively besides the run game. And what does this Bills team do against the run? Do they do good against the run? They've allowed 755 rushing yards this season, and the average is 1,000. The average team has given up 1,000 rushing yards so far this season, where the Bills have only given up 755. So yeah, they're not giving up the rushing yards. The only teams that give up more rushing yards so far this year are the Saints, giving up 656. The Bucks giving up 718. And that is it. Those are the only 2 teams that have given up more rushing yards than the Bills. So what are we doing here? Folks? Please tell me. So, no buyability, believability, bettability in this Colts team. We are absolutely taking Bills -7. But let's watch this last drive right here, stalling once again, having to settle for a field goal. We get Third and 19. Third and 19. Behind the sticks. Always behind the sticks. You don't think the Bills defense is going to make this team behind the sticks? Carson Wentz dinks it down on third and 19. Just trying to put up the field goal, so it makes it a 6-point game. So the Jaguars have a little resistance on what they can do on the final drive of the game here. So nothing good here by this Colts team. So trash as usual. Truly disappointing. We wanted to root for this Colts team in the offseason, and then we saw them play and we're like, okay, yes, this is not a good team. Okay, unfortunate. We thought they could be good. They've got the pieces to be good. They're not good. Unfortunate. All right. So now that we've got that film study out of the way here, that we can still not buy this Colts team offensively getting locked up all over the place by the Jaguars defense. Now let's head over to our weekly picks here, our official picks. We just predicted and reacted to the lines yesterday on the show, and there's really no great value, folks. We struggled a little bit here to come up with 6 picks, and you'll see that once we name one of these picks that we said we weren't going to take this week, but we had to because there's really no great value. So we'll tell you our picks, and then we'll tell you why there's just no good value this week in the other remaining games and why we're staying away from them. But first, let's tell you what we did last week, folks. So here we go. Our 3 locks last week were Titans minus 2.5. They win by 2. They were up 8 on that final drive, so they could have won by 8. So a little unofficially, I think we're a little right on there. The half a point hook kills us, unfortunately. We took the Chargers minus 3, and they lost by 7. The Vikings truly got it done, and I don't know what to think of this Chargers team anymore off this little losing skid that they're on. We took the Colts minus 10 last week. They win by 6. So unfortunate there. No buyability in this Colts team. We thought their offense could handle it, and they could not, as we saw. So our locks went 0-3 last week. Not great. Our 99% guarantees, we had the Eagles plus 2.5. Bingo, bango. They win by 17. That was an easy one to hit. We had the Raiders plus 2.5. They lose by 27 against the Chiefs. Okay, we have to start, this Raiders team is on the borderline of us truly selling them. We'll know more this week. And then we had the Cowboys minus 7, and they win by 40. So bingo, bango. The 2 picks that we had right, truly right, I would say. Eagles plus 2.5, they win by 17. Cowboys minus 7, they win by 40. So, we went 2 of 4 officially. Unofficially, we kind of went 3 and 3. Yeah, we went 3 and 3. Unofficially. Officially 2 and 4. Unofficially 3 and 3. And we're going by unofficially here. All right. So here we go. Let's start with our 3 locks. You can bet whatever you want on these picks, folks. These are locks. Did you not just hear what we did last week, folks, with our locks? Come on, these are locks. These will always hit. Alrighty, our first pick in our lock section, well, you already know, folks, it's Bills minus 7. We just looked at what Carson Wentz did last week. Not good. The whole Colts offense, not good. Not getting any separation. Receivers got no separation against the Jaguars. The running game was good, but the Bills shut down the run. We just saw that as well. Only 2 teams have given up less yards rushing than the Bills. So they'll be able to handle Jonathan Taylor. They'll be able to handle Marlon Mack. They will, if he's playing, they'll be able to handle Nyheim Hines. So the Bills are fine here. The offense will be able to get it done. This Colts defense is okay. It's a good, solid defense. Not as good as the Bills. In this Bills offense, they've got the pieces to move the ball. They're also at home, a big, great green flag for the Bills here of why you should be taking them minus 7. We predicted them to be Bills minus 13.5, so obviously we're comfortable in swallowing the 7 here. This Colts team is not good. They're especially not good against good teams, and this Bills team is one of the better top 5, and we're going to do our power rankings next segment. They're definitely top 5 team in this league, folks. So Josh Allen and the Bills offense, they struggle here and there, but overall, for the most part, they get it figured out, and they especially get it figured out in the second half. Another thing that the Colts cannot do, close out games. So if, gosh forbid, this game is close, tied, maybe even the Colts have a 3-point lead going into halftime, well, don't count out the Bills because they play their best football in the second half. So the defense sets up the offense. The offense usually takes advantage of it. Bills minus 7 out here, folks. Great pick. This Colts team has 0% chance to win. 0. This Colts team is not good. It's not a good team, folks. Offensively, it is not good. That's all I can say about the team. We've been seeing them every single week, and we're like, yeah, this is not a good team. They barely win games. If they do win games, they're 5-5, so they've got a 50% chance to win a game. And, they just play down to their opponent, playing down to the Jaguars, losing close games, not having that signature game win, anything like that. So, Bills -7, folks. I'm loving it this week. Alrighty, next pick in our lock section, we're taking Dolphins -3.5 here, and I was a little hesitant to take this game with the 3-point hook. If it was Dolphins -3, I'd feel a little bit better about it, but overall, at the end of the day, this Dolphins defense is hitting their stride, and that's another thing that we have to start to shift focus on. We see this all the time, every year in the NFL. Now that we're at kind of the midpoint, starting the back half of the season, this is really when the defenses start hitting their stride, and we just saw it last night with the Patriots. So this Dolphins defense over the last 2 weeks has truly been hitting their stride, and now they're going against who? Joe Flacco? Okay, I don't care that he won the Super Bowl 10 years ago. That's all he did. He caught magic, the mile-high miracle, launched their Super Bowl run. That's all it was, a miracle catching fire. That's the only reason Joe Flacco is still relevant today. And it's so interesting that Robert Saleh goes with Joe Flacco because Joe Flacco gives you the best opportunity to win. Does he? Interesting, because let's go back to the last time Joe Flacco has started a game. Did he win? Well, he hasn't started at all this season. Got in against the Bills for 3 throws. So that was not his game. They lose it. But he started 4 games last season. Joe Flacco started 4 games last season. Game number 1 he started against Arizona. They lost 30-10. Ooh, not good. He threw 54% completion percentage. That's not good either. Second game he started against Miami. Oh, this is interesting because they're facing the Dolphins this week. They lost 24-0. 24-0 against the Dolphins. Joe Flacco threw 47% completion percentage, no touchdown, 1 interception. Game number 3 he started against the Patriots. They lost a close one here, 30-27. He had a decent game, 72% completion percentage, 3 touchdowns. But this was the Patriots last season, and the Patriots were a little flounderish all season, but it still resulted into a loss. And then the 4th and final game he started last season, they lose again to the Chargers, 34-28. 50% completion percentage, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. So, yeah, Joe Flacco doesn't give you a good chance to win. I would still stick with Mike White. I think there's more upside with Mike White, and we've seen one good game from him, 1 bad game from him, so let him have that tiebreaker game. But Joe Flacco doesn't give you anything special to try and win this game against this Dolphins defense. Good luck. We don't love the Dolphins offense. 2 is the best thing about it, but we believe the defense can result into some easy points for the offense, and we don't see this Jets offense putting up anything meaningful this game. Dolphins -3.5 will swallow the half-a-point hook that might burn us, but overall this Dolphins defense should be able to take care of business. I'll take the Dolphins -3.5. And then our last pick in our lock section here, we're going to take, oh my goodness, what the hell just happened in the last hour? What has broken the last hour? Because now I have to an extra point and a half? Not a half a point. I have to swallow an extra point and a half? Why? I don't know if I can do this one now. What the hell has happened here? For the Ravens Bears game, the line went from Ravens -4.5 to Ravens -5.5 in an hour. Why? What is broken? What is going on? Cam Newton starting Sunday. We know this. We've already factored that in, and we're going to take, we'll see if the line has changed officially. That would be interesting to see. We're going to take it. So we have what the line was, like an hour and a half ago. So we'll keep an eye on that. But why did this Ravens line change a full point and a half? I'm not seeing anything. DeAndre Hopkins is not playing this week against Seattle. Interesting. I'm seeing all the Cam Newton news. That's obviously taking precedence over what the hell happened with this Ravens spread. I'm not seeing anything. Is everybody just betting right now? The Bears place veteran linebacker Danny Trevathan on IR, ending a season. Is that why Danny Trevathan moving the line 1.5 points? I don't think so. Interesting. Well, I don't know why the line has moved a whole 1.5 points. Real bizarre. Real bizarre. Okay. Well. All right. Well, we're still going to take it, I guess. Maybe because Lamar Jackson returned to practice, so now he's like officially good to go. Maybe that's why the line moved 1.5 points. That would make a little bit more sense. But here we go, folks. Our last lock. Damn. I don't want to swallow this many points now, but we're still going to take Ravens -5.5. Had it 4. We had it lock. Oh, once again, lock in the value while you can, folks. You wait an hour and a half and you screw your value. We had it at Ravens -4 at about 11 a.m. Eastern time. Damn. All right, but we're going to take Ravens -5.5. Ravens at Bears this week. The Ravens have, hit a little bit of a skid here, and that's really uncharacteristic of this Ravens team. And then for this Bears team, and the reason why we're going to be taking the Ravens -5.5 points here, because Matt Nagy is just trash. He's a trash coach. He had this quote this week that really I hated, really rubbing me the wrong way here. Matt Nagy on their losing streak saying, quote, "It's no one's fault other than everybody's." Okay, how about you take a little blame? I want the coach always taking all the blame so my players don't take the blame. I could care less what the national media would say about me as a head coach. I'll take all the blame. Yes, why we're losing, it's because of me. We're losing because of me. I don't want that on my players. I don't want my players feeling restricted, feeling like they're getting kind of nationally, publicly blamed in the media. I will take it all. I don't need all that extra weight and pressure on the players when they're out there playing in the game. The ones that are actually playing and making the plays and are doing the plays, making the throws, making the runs. I don't want any unnecessary outside, inside pressure on my players. I will always take all the blame. It's on me. It's on me. I'm the problem. It's me. We're losing because of me. Matt Nagy doesn't do anything like that. He never takes any blame. He said, well, it's on everybody. Well, it's on everybody. We're losing because it's on everybody. Are you? Because your offense was kind of good when you weren't there. Remember when you couldn't coach? I think it was COVID. And you kind of your team played the best offense that they played all year. So if it's anybody's fault, I think it's kind of you, Matthew Nagus. And then we get the Bears off the bye, which you may say, oh, that's a good thing. They had an extra week to prepare. But come on, Matt Nagy's a good coach, not a good coach. So even if he has extra time to prepare, they're going to still lose the game, folks. Here we go. Matt Nagy off of a bye. Is it good? No. Here it is. Spoiler alert. No, it's not. But let's go through every single year Matt Nagy's been a head coach here for the Bears and see what they've been doing after the bye. Here we go. First year he got there, 2018. After the bye, did they win? They had the bye week 5. Week 4, they win. Week 6, after the bye, they lose to the Dolphins in overtime, 31-28. Well, close game, so maybe we can give them the benefit of the doubt. Here we go. Next year, what did he do after the bye? After the bye, they had the bye week 6. Week 5, they lost against the Raiders. Extra time to prepare. A week off. Week 7, they lose against the Saints. 36-25. Womp womp. That one wasn't as close as the Dolphins overtime. And then just last season, Matthew Nagus off the bye. Is he good? They had the bye week 11, week 10, they lose against the Vikings. Week 12, after the bye, they lose against Green Bay. Got blown out 41-25. So we've seen them every single year get worse. Every single year after the bye, getting worse coaching-wise. And now they've got this Ravens team who's absolutely pumped up, fired up because they just lost on Thursday Night Football against the Dolphins, who they shouldn't have lost to. So yes, Lamar Jackson's good to go. He's practicing. He hasn't practiced the last 2 days for an illness, not COVID related. So we will swallow 5.5 points here. Even though we only really wanted to swallow 4 here, we are still buying this Ravens team and not buying Matt Nagy any. Remember when we just shouted out the young head coaches yesterday on the show? Cliff Kingsbury, Zach Taylor, Brandon Staley, Nick Sirianni, and one other good young head coach. Did we ever say Matt Nagy's name? No, we didn't, and that was on purpose because this man's not a good coach. Ravens minus 5.5, we will take that. So our 3 locks this week, we're going Bills minus 7, Dolphins minus 3.5, and Ravens minus 5.5. Alrighty, our 3.99% guarantees. Now, what are these looking like? We still feel good about these picks, but there is potentially, maybe, possibly one thing that could potentially maybe ruin the bet a little bit. But overall, we're still feeling very good about these. So here we go. Our first pick in our 99% guarantees, and we'll see. Let's refresh this page one more time. Now that we know Cam Newton is officially a go, let's see if the line has changed any, and it has not. It is still Washington plus 3, and we are going to be taking Washington plus 3. So whether Vegas has already factored in Cam Newton playing to the line has not moved any. But we're going to take Washington plus 3 here. And it's no disrespect to Cam Newton. It's a great story, and I hope he has good success here to prove everybody wrong, including us, and prove the Patriots wrong and all that. I wish that on him. I just don't see that happening. We watched him last week, folks. His accuracy was not good. Yes, the running plays in the red zone, good. That one throw in the red zone, good. Touchdown, 2 scores. But he had more plays than just those 2 scoring plays. And overall, it just didn't look that good. It looked like exactly what Cam Newton has been his entire life, folks. Nothing great. Passing the ball wise, a little bit of a better rusher than he is a passer, which we all knew. So now he's coming back to Carolina, and now he's going a little bit too vocal. I'm not loving it. He's speaking out. Let me see if I can bring up this tweet. I thought I pulled it up. I don't think I did. But Cam Newton giving away tickets, trying to kind of increase the culture here. I think he gave away like 50 tickets, 5 or 50 tickets, so Carolina's stadium can be rocking and roaring, so they can bring the culture back to Carolina. And that's really what Cam Newton's kind of focused on. I mean, all the kind of quotes here, he wants to bring the culture back to Carolina. He wants to get the culture back to Carolina. But overall, I think he's going to get too caught up in overall the culture and not what you need to do performance-wise out on the field. And this Washington defense has gotten it done these last 2 weeks, holding their opponents under like 20 points scoring these last 2 weeks. And they play better without Chase Young, which is kind of crazy to say, but these last 2 weeks, the defense for the Washington football team has been getting it done. Just beat Brady, picked him off a couple of times, real solid. In this Panthers defense, it's good. It's a good defense, and Washington's offense is nothing great. Taylor Heineke truly coming into his own last week. We'll see if he keeps it up and keeps the ball rolling here. But overall, we are just not buying Cam Newton as a starter. Not game 1 here. He just got there. He wants to turn around the culture. We get Matt Rule talking about the culture as well, and I don't really like that. Albert Breer talked to Matt Rule about how it's emblematic of a larger culture in Carolina, bringing in Cam Newton. So we get Matt Rule. He wanted Teddy Bridgewater, threw him to the curb. He brings in Sam Darnold. He gets injured. He throws him to the curb, and now it's going to be Cam Newton to be the savior here. I'm not buying Matt Rule. I'm not buying Cam Newton to get it done. I think this Washington defense will be able to easily, kind of get on Cam Newton and make it a hard day for him. How much of the playbook does Cam Newton know? I mean, this Patriots offense as a whole without Cam Newton, I mean, they're at the midpoint, so they all know the entirety of the playbook up until this point, where Cam Newton does, and he just got there last week. So I'm not buying Cam Newton, and I will live and die by not buying Cam Newton. We'll take the 3 points here for Washington. Alrighty, next pick here, and we are going to go against what we said yesterday, folks, unfortunately. We said we weren't going to take the Cowboys-Chiefs game because we just wanted to watch the game and take it all in and watch the greatness and not worry about our pick. Were we right? Were we wrong in this game? But there's just no good value all around, and this is some good value. It's decent value. It's the best value that we're getting so far. So we're going to take the Cowboys plus 2.5 here over the Chiefs. We're believing in the Walk of Fame defense, and that's really what it's going to come down to here. Do the Chiefs turn over the ball? Because if they do, they are going to lose the game. If they don't, then, it's going to be a close game, and we'll see if the Cowboys offense can outpace the Chiefs offense, which we can see happening, but overall, we're relying on this Cowboys defense to truly get into the grill of the Kansas City Chiefs, who have kind of cleaned up their turnovers over the last 2 weeks, exactly what we've been wanting to see from them. But we're going to take the 2.5 here. This is probably going to be a close game, 7-3 game, so the 2.5 points here, it's not the best value, but it's some good value overall compared to what else we get here. So we're going to take the Cowboys plus 2.5 here in hopes this Walk of Fame defense can get it done in Kansas City. And then our last pick in our 99% guarantees, we're going Vikings plus 1, folks. We're truly believing that this Vikings team had turned the corner last week. A really great win against the Chargers. They go into LA. They win the game. They close out the game. The last 4.5 minutes, the Vikings only one score up 7 points, and they hold the ball for the rest of the game. They don't turn the ball over. Kirk Cousins did fumble once, but we've seen this Vikings team have turnovers here almost every single game here, and they're always still in it. We just needed to see them start to close the deal, get it done, and we just saw that last week. Probably the best overall game that the Vikings played all season long was last week, and I'm buying that this Vikings team has turned a corner. Now, when we look at the Packers, Aaron Rodgers coming off of a win against, the Seahawks and that entire COVID thing. We'll see if he's up to par here, up to Aaron Rodgers standard. But this, division rival, all of that in Minnesota, another kind of green flag for this Vikings team. I just think they get it done. I'm ready to buy into this Vikings team. And overall, statistically, this Vikings team, offensively, defensively, they're a good team statistically. They just haven't been able to close the door in these games, and we just saw it last week. So we're riding with the Vikings, folks, plus a point. And that's going to be our final pick for the week. Vikings plus 1 at home against division rival Green Bay. We think they can get it done here. So our 99% guarantees, we are going Washington plus 3, Cowboys plus 2.5, and Vikings plus 1. Now, why we aren't taking these other matchups, Saints, Eagles, these are two really evenly matched teams, 2-point spread here. This is probably a 3-point game. So overall, I don't think it's great value either way. What else we get here? Lions, Browns. I'm not going to swallow 12.5 points here. We get the Lions. They're trash, but we get this. Anthony Lynn has lost play calling duties. Unfortunate for Anthony Lynn here. And we'll see if this Browns team can bounce back here at home, which they probably do. But a backdoor cover, all that, we just don't want to swallow 12.5 points. 49ers, Jaguars, this line just moved a half a point as well. 49ers defense is good, but the Jaguars defense has been pretty good these last 2 weeks. They might be able to keep the game close here, so we're going to stay away from the 7-point spread there. Texans, Titans, same thing. Just don't feel good swallowing 9.5 points with this Titans team. They've been scoring in clusters based off of turnovers, really. And this Texans team coming off of a bye. They had the bye last week. I know they lost bad 2 weeks ago. I don't think they played last week, correct? Am I bugging? Yeah, they're coming off the bye. So coming off the bye, Tyrod Taylor probably cleaning some things up here. 9.5 points, a little bit too much for us to swallow, especially with this Titans run game being non-existent. So maybe the Texans, who still have good viability in them, could get it done defensively. We get Bengals, Raiders, point and a half spread here, not buying. I mean, I can't buy the Raiders anymore until they prove to us that Derek Carr can stop turning the ball over and the offense can move on without Henry Ruggs, which I understand is hard. And now we have, the overall narrative of the Raiders floundering in the back half the last 2 seasons and the offense staggering because they don't have Henry Ruggs, so everybody can just guard Darren Waller and Hunter Renfrow and, get away scot-free. And this Bengals team, a little flounderish here coming off the bye. How are they going to look? I don't think that's any great value. Cardinals, Seahawks. Cardinals -2. We get no DeAndre Hopkins. We don't know about Kyler Murray yet. Steelers, Chargers, 5.5 points right here. Chargers been skidding here. And then Giants, Bucks. Giants +7.5. Bucks -10.5 here with all those picks Tom Brady's throwing here. I'm sure he cleans it up, but is it going to be this week or next week or maybe not at all? We don't know. So this is a really tough week for betting. I think Vegas has these lines set up perfectly so they win either way, which they usually do, folks. So don't think there's any really great value anywhere this week. Any amazing value. There's no amazing value here, and there's no disrespectful value here. So shout out to Vegas for not being disrespectful, but we kind of like you being disrespectful because we get good value. So overall, our 3 locks this week are Bills -7, Dolphins -3.5, Ravens -4, and then our 3 99% guarantees. We're going Washington +3, Cowboys +2.5, and the Vikings +1 point. Alrighty, before we get out of here, let's update our NFL power rankings. We were unfortunately not able to do this on Tuesday, which we usually do every single Tuesday. Unfortunately, could not do the show on Tuesday, but we have time today in the show, so let's update our top 10 in the NFL. Here we go. A lot of movement this week. New team in. We get one new team in. So let's start here. This was our top 10 heading into last week. Bills at 10, Browns at 9, Packers at 8, Patriots at 7, Raiders at 6, Rams at 5, Titans at 4, Bucks at 3, Cowboys at 2, and the Cardinals at number 1. All right, let's start from 10 to 1 and start getting these new rankings up heading into Sunday's action, Week 11. Alrighty, here we go. The new number 10 team, and it's a new team in the top 10, and it goes along with our pick this week. We're bringing in the Vikings, baby. Top 10, number 10, folks. Vikings. Their offense, they put up the stats. Kirk Cousins, for the most part, has good games. Dalvin Cook, for the most part, has good games, and they just turned the corner finally of closing out the game against the Chargers on the road. Really great to win their best overall game I think the Vikings played all season long, and we're going to give them a little nod here, moving them to number 10. I think they've turned it around. They turned the corner. Watch out for the Vikings moving forward. Alrighty, number 9 here. We are going to go Raiders. We're dropping them back from 6 to 9 here. We're giving this Raiders team one last chance to be in the top 10. If they lose this week, we're definitely going to have to move them out. But we need to see Rich Bisaccia get this team back as a collective. Let's get this offense back roaring without Henry Ruggs. I know it's tough. We've seen it. And we need Derek Carr to stop turning over the ball. We really haven't seen that by him. And now these last 2 weeks, he's turning it over at the worst time, when it's close in the second half, when you don't have that much time and opportunity to overcome those turnovers. So clean up the turnovers and let's figure out this offense. You got to move on without Henry Ruggs. Got to switch up the scheme. We'll see if they do that. They've got one more chance here at home against the Bengals this week. Raiders at 9. Alrighty, new number 18. We're dropping this team back big time. We're over it. We're sick of it. We're dropping down the Bucks from number 3 to number 8. These turnovers by Brady. What the hell are you doing? Stop it. All these turnovers every single week. Multiple losing the game. I think he has 5 over the last 2 weeks. And that's why these Bucks are losing. Tom Brady turning over the ball. And we saw him do it last year at the end of the season in the NFC Championship game. Got bailed out. Not getting bailed out these last 2 weeks. They're losing until he cleans it up. They're going to be bottom 10 here, maybe even out of the top 10 if he continues to do it this week. Bucks at 8. Number 17, we are keeping the Patriots. This will change, obviously, because what they won last night. But, this power rankings is for before that. So Patriots are going to still stay at number 7, and we will definitely move them up next Tuesday. All right, new number 16. We're moving this team back 1 here. We're going to drop down the Rams. What a really unfavorable performance, just getting OBJ and then getting it taken to him by the 49ers. So Rams at number 6 here. I don't think I love the OBJ signing. I think it's going to ruin the locker room a little bit here. You already had kind of Sean McVay feeling pressure to get OBJ the ball, a la, the deep shot real early on by Matthew Stafford that resulted in a pick and really set the tempo. They're feeling the pressure that OBJ brings, being kind of a little bit of a overall diva, a little bit. So Rams at number 6. We'll see if they can turn it around, but this could be the beginning of the end for the Rams, folks. It would not surprise me. Rams move down a slot. Alrighty, new number 5 team. We're moving this team up a little bit. We're going to the Packers. The defense is obviously the real deal. Aaron Rodgers playing solid here. Running game taking a little bit of a hit with one of their running backs being out, but overall the team as a whole is really, really gosh dang good. They've been getting better every single week. The defense has been great really from the get-go here, and we got to start respecting this Packers team a little bit more. Cracking the top 5, I want to say, for maybe the first time this season, and it's long overdue, and we'll see if they can get it done against the Vikings. The reason why we're not moving them up even more is because this is another good test for the Packers here this week against the Vikings team, so we'll see how they do there and who keeps their spot and who maybe even climbs it up, Packers or Vikings, based on what they do this week. So Packers at 5. All right, 4 team. We are going to keep the Titans at number 4. They're scoring in clusters off of turnovers. It's leaving a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth. They have an easy opponent this week of the Texans, but overall, I think we should be selling and fading the Titans a little bit here. Not going to do it while they're actively winning, but once they face a good opponent, I really think we're going to start fading them before that game plays out. Obviously, we're not going to come and wait until they lose, be like, well, we told you, we got to start fading them. We're going to tell you when we start to fade them, but obviously we're not going to do it this week against the Texans when they're at home. I mean, that's stupid. The Texans are absolutely bad. This Titans team is still good, don't get me wrong, but overall, not having that running game, more pressure on Ryan Tannehill to throw the ball a little bit more. It's a good bend but don't break defense, but overall the offense is struggling a little bit here without their main man-made identity of Derrick Henry. So we'll leave the Titans at 4. See what they do this week. Won't weigh too much in our mind, but we'll see. We'll keep them here at number 4. All right, new number 3 here. We're going to go Bills. Bills getting the big old boost here. Their offense is moving the ball. The defense is one of the best defenses in the league here, and they're just getting it done in really all the phases of the game. Big scores, shutting out teams, all of that. They deserve credit and recognition. We'll move them up to 3, and another reason why they're getting moved up to 3 is because of a lot of poor performances this week with the Raiders losing, the Rams losing, and all that. So we can move the Bills up even more here to number 3. All right, and then number 1 and number 2, what's been going on these last couple of weeks here? They've been flip-flopping every single week, and once again, they will be flip-flopping. So Cardinals drop down to number 2, and the Cowboys move up to number 1 again. It's like every week's we're flipping and switching, but Cardinals without Kyler Murray, not good. Colt McCoy got exposed, and we're not going to drop down this Cardinals defense too much here without Kyler Murray. So hopefully Kyler Murray plays a little bit here, keeps their standing at number 2 because they're a good team overall, offensively, defensively. Cliff Kingsbury's getting it done with this team, no problem. And then for number 1 team, the Dallas Cowboys, offense is moving the ball here. Dual running back by committee with Tony Pollard and Zeke, and Dak being absolutely fantastic, throwing the ball to CeeDee Lamb and Seth Wilson and Amari Cooper and Dalton Schultz, the tight end. So star-studded offense, star-studded defense, a la the Walk of Fame defense, one of the best defenses in the league. Cowboys reclaim their number 1 spot with a big old win over Atlanta last week. So this is our new top 10 heading into week 11, folks. Vikings at 10, Raiders at 9, Bucks at 8, Patriots at 7, Rams at 6, Packers at 5, Titans at 4, Bills at 3, Cardinals at 2, Cowboys at 1. And don't worry, folks, the Patriots will be higher than 7 when we update it for Thursday's game. Alrighty, folks, that's going to do it for us today. We are back live tomorrow, noon Eastern, where we break down the NBA from last night. We will, I think, if the playoff machine is up on ESPN, we will play around with that. Probably won't do the machine show tomorrow just because maybe we'll get their advice. Maybe. Also, we will update our NBA power rankings tomorrow on the show as well. And like I said, if the playoff machine is up on ESPN, which I believe it is. We will mess around with that, seeing who wins this week and how that impacts the playoffs. We'll start to do this every single week as we're starting to hit kind of the midpoint of the week where now everything is truly starting to get into picture a little bit, into focus a little bit more as we progress. So we'll play around with that tomorrow on the show as well. So back live tomorrow, noon Eastern, breaking down some stories, breaking news, all that. We'll talk it all through tomorrow, live tomorrow, noon Eastern. Alrighty, folks, we are out of here. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, and we will see you